Okay, friends. Hi, Doc South here. Oh my gosh, rested finally. Well, the final cruise night. It's I guess the Chatterbox is still open till Labor Day, as I understand it, and then I believe it is closed after that. You can always call to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Or check them on Facebook. Excuse me. One thing that I'm probably going to have. Because these things are coming back to me, various Chatterbox memories, and why I was so honored to be part of the scene there for so many years. I guess the entirety of the Chatterbox existence, I DJ'd for it. About the only thing I didn't do was bike night. But understandably, I probably didn't have the music the bikers would want to hear. Basically I did the car thing and, sometimes Friday nights, Sunday afternoons, that kind of thing. Of course, the Wanderers cruise night always. And, like I said, I think in 15, 16 years, I think I missed 5 days. if that. And, to me, it was, in a strange way, it was kind of like going to church. Not, in other words, how people make a point of going to church on Sundays. I made a point of making sure I made it to the Chatterbox, no matter what, on Saturdays. I don't know. It was my place. I saw a lot of good there, and I'm going to try to point out some of those things as over the next few weeks as they approach me, as they come to me. The big thing, I think, was the love of country, the love of America at the Chatterbox. It was very much noticed. Like the national anthem. I think we started that. Boy, I could be wrong, and it's a long ago. But I think we started that around 2008, maybe further back, and it was. I don't even know how it came up, but I guess we just decided at 6 we do the anthem, and pretty much as close as we could to it, we did. And the thing is at first I thought, man, people aren't. I don't know if everyone's going to stand up. There's going to be commotion. People, getting sore because we played the anthem, others getting sore because maybe people didn't stand up. I'll tell you the truth, pretty much everybody stood. Even over the winter when we were just inside, or when in the summer when we were outside, everything stopped and people faced whatever flag they could, whichever American flag they could find, the ones outside or the one over the statue of the giant hot dog coming out of the tail end of the slingshot dragster. They stopped, faced, and saluted as the anthem played. I know we had the Mormon Tabernacle Choir version of the anthem. They must have wondered every Saturday getting there, seeing that, I imagine they would check their royalty playings of the song, and I'm sure they got like a little. Well, they probably got a half a penny for us playing it, but they must have wondered, wow, what is this? And I wanted the Whitney Houston version. I kind of like that when Whitney hits that high note. It's I don't know. I felt like it was more 50s, even though I know Whitney didn't do it in the 50s, but it just, I don't know, it had that falsetto to it, which I kind of dug. And honestly, I don't know of any doo-wop group. I'm sure there's got to be some doo-wop group that has done the anthem. Oh, gosh. So, there were some kids. A relatively modern doo-wop group out of the Whippany area. Right now I claim a senior moment. I can't remember their names, but they I think actually sang the anthem doo-wop style, a cappella style. I think at a baseball team's opening day, about 5 or 6 years ago. I can't think of their names, but you'd see them at Let East and stuff singing. And that would have been good to get a copy of that. But the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, pretty much Don said, no, that's it. Mormon Tabernacle Choir, okay. I wish we could have got them just once if they were nearby. You know, if they were maybe playing in New York, we could have had them come out. Huh? Oh, man, that would have been cool. The other thing, excuse me, with the anthem is I wish that at one time or another we had gotten a flyover. Yeah, that would, even if it was a model airplane or a model airplane club or maybe an old Piper Cub flying over, a hot air balloon, something, a drone. I thought a nice formation of drones. Yeah, in the missing drone formation, you know, going over the and something people would have been telling their great grandchildren. Huh? Yeah, I know. And the thing is I remember, like I said earlier, worried about whether people would stand for the anthem. And pretty much everyone did. It was, unless they couldn't hear, and sometimes people maybe from another country might not know quite what to do. They'd eventually stand up, though, figuring it was the thing to do. And I think it is in their case. You would stand for anyone's anthem, I'm pretty sure. But I remember there was one day, there was a family about ready to leave when the anthem came on, and they had in their family probably a great-grandfather or something. Man, he was very old, very feeble. He sat in a wheelchair, and when the anthem played, they were trying to leave. Because, well, they were on their way out, and of course they're trying to take care of him. When he heard that I was going to do the anthem, he pretty much locked his wheelchair. Yeah, he wasn't going to hear about it. And he about leaving, and he struggled to get up. He was fighting to get up out of his wheelchair to stand for the anthem. The anthem was darn near done when he finally got there. When he finally got on his feet, his family helped him, but I mean, you know, he was so very frail, and but he got it. I did. I remember. I'm pretty sure I thanked him. I said, "Listen, sir, we understand if you can't." I just, again, it just tickled me. And like I said, at first I thought, I don't know if this playing the anthem's going to fly, but boy, it sure did. And honestly, as time went on my internet audience, people in the Chatterbox would come by and say, "Doc, it's almost 6. You're going to do the..." Yeah. I'd say, oh yeah. And I always had the Mormon Tabernacle Choir CD ready, and we'd fire it up. I could get the anthem on in 5 seconds if I had to, and and often did. You know, I'd get lost in thought doing all the lost in doing the show and forget what time it was. So a lot of times, you know, one of the serving staff would say, "Doc, oh yeah," and they go, "Yeah." I said, "Oh yeah, okay." We'd run and do it. And the other thing I think I was always very tickled about was, except for one occasion, I think when I was called a Nazi for it, almost everyone always made a point, and not everyone, but so many people would come up and thank me for saying that we should remember our soldiers and those who serve in our prayers and thoughts. Of course, folks in the military, but also our police, firemen, rescue, all heroes too. And yeah, just once, I think very early in my time at the Chatterbox I think it was one college girl probably, she hollered out that I was some kind of Nazi for thanking the soldiers. She's probably changed her tune by now with age, but because God, she'd be in her mid-30s now. Yeah. And, but, you know, when. Yeah. So, it's, other than that, though, most everyone's been very, very good. I should mention also, the Chatterbox saw that I needed a donut in the basement of the Chatterbox when Don pulled the salad bar. And he said, "Here, this used to hold cherry tomatoes. Let it, it can do your, it will get a," and I believe Don's daughter, Heather, put this together for me, the label, and there you go. And that jar is raised, whew, and most of the donations coming from my work at the Chatterbox. That jar is we're somewhere around just under 21,000 for various soldier-related charities, mostly phone cards, so that our troops can call home. What else about the? Oh gosh, I remember we after there was one day when an old friend of mine, Ed Hageman, who has since passed away, he served on a carrier in World War II, and he was up one day near. He was almost he was very feeble. He was in a wheelchair at that point, if I recall right. Very very weak, probably from some ailment. I wouldn't want to say what, but. He was pretty sick, and his time was about up on Earth. And I remember seeing him in the crowd after the anthem. And when the anthem was done, I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to introduce you to Ed Hageman here. He served in the Navy in World War II." Served the whole war, right from Pearl Harbor on up, until a year or two after it was over. If any of you are were in the Navy, maybe you'd like to come up and shake his hand. Ed started crying, but tears of joy as all these sailors, and they all shook his hand, and he was just so tickled. And of course, his money was no good. He was swimming in root beer floats and cheeseburgers and stuff, and he was very grateful for that. He was one good guy, Ed Hageman, and like I said, that was one really great thing about the Chatterbox, was that whereas you could feel comfortable feeling a love of your country. And that was pretty neat. That was one very good thing about the place that I think separated it from so many places. Anyway, one thing I'll miss, that was for sure. And well, there you go. I think that's I've talked way too long, and yes, okay. So let me get going. But again, one place I'm going to miss. I think you'll be missing it too, huh? Yeah, it was good spot. Okay, we'll see you later, friends. Thank you, and God bless.